If you're weak like me who can't even bench their own weight, then you know how hard it is to ride a dirt bike that weighs more than you do. When you're riding on a more challenging trail and you're just trying to hang on to the bars, but your arms are so pumped up that you can barely use the throttle, pulling the clutch and pulling the brake, that it makes it dangerous. So you have to slow way down. And this is especially true if you're riding a bigger 300 or 450 dirt bike, because all that extra engine mass, it makes the bike feel even heavier, which requires you to use more energy. So what do you do if you're weak but want to ride longer without having to go to the gym? Because if you're also like me who doesn't like working out, bench pressing and push-ups and all that stuff, I like to ride to get my exercise. Well, then there's a few simple ways or mistakes that you can fix that will allow you to ride longer and further while using less energy, even if you're on a bigger bike. So one simple tip that I like to use often is, if you're standing and it's really exhausting because whoever told you to just stand up more because you have more control and you'll ride better, well, if it's more exhausting to stand than it is to sit, well, then sit down. I actually try and sit down as much as possible while I'm out trail riding, just because it can conserve energy, because I'm not having to push and pull on the bars all the time. And then I only stand up when I need to, like when I come to a rough or really whooped out section. And if it is a lot more exhausting to stand, this is one surefire sign that you are not using proper body position while standing, which I cover in a different video. Sitting is a lot easier because, well, you know, when you're on a dirt bike, all you do is sit on the seat and twist the throttle, right? Then tip number 2 is stop death gripping the bars. So death gripping the bars is when you're trying to hang on so tight just to keep control of the bike. This is usually when you come up to a challenging section, such as a rock garden, or there's a big log coming, so you're just tensing up, hoping that you won't fall because you're hanging onto the bike so hard. But this is what's causing you to get more fatigued. So when you're death gripping the bars, the bike is controlling you rather than you're controlling bike. For example, when you give it gas or when you hit an obstacle, you're going to be pushed and pulled on the bike, and this requires you to push and pull even more with your arms. So if you're reacting to the bike, so pushing and pulling after you get pushed and pulled back, then you're using too much energy. So what you need to do is stop death gripping the bars, relax. Don't put as much energy and stress into your arms and hands because they can't take all that force. Come on. Ugh, my nose isn't warm enough. Another big mistake, especially on challenging sections where you don't feel the confidence to keep both your feet on the pegs. People put both their feet on the ground so that they stay balanced, and then they end up paddling with their feet to try and keep going. And while you may be able to stay upright on the bike longer, this uses way more energy because you're using not only your legs but your core, basically your whole body, to help push the bike rather than standing on the bike or sitting on the bike and letting the bike do most of the work. So stop paddling with your feet because it's not good technique. You're never going to become a better, confident rider if you're always resorting to putting your feet down on the ground just to stay balanced. And if you want to learn how to ride with more confidence, with better balance, so that you can use less energy, even if you're small like me, then I want to give you my free basic techniques guide. You can get that at motocrosshideout.com/free lessons, or click the link in the description below. I'm Kelly Fager from Motocross Hideout. Learn more, ride more, so that you can stay safe and have fun for many years to come.